Yeah. So we're so back. Life update. We're so back after I think it's been an entire week without streaming. I was kinda under the weather, and yeah, now we're here. I forgot to center this. Let me just do that now. I need to do this. Transform. Yeah, that looks better. Yeah. So this is the last Laravel stream. We were just playing around with Laravel, trying to create a simple article management system. The focus was not on beauty. The focus was mainly on just trying it out. We didn't even do the tests. We've not written a single test at all. So the focus was just on getting a working blog, and let us see what we have so far. So I don't know, this part was just the shell or the our terminal. Then this was doing PHP artisan serve, think. Yeah, it's been a while. Then this part was doing PHP. Oh no, and npm run dev over here. Yeah, so let us just try and see what we had on the last one. So I think it was localhost 8,000. Why is my server not working? Oh, I took 3,000 instead of 8,000. We don't even have anything on the main landing page. But let us just go to somewhere like this. Then, do I remember the John at example.com? What was the password again? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, right? Yeah. So this is what we have. We only have this. We don't have. We left here in a hurry. We have a homepage where it just shows you've signed in. Yeah, the CSS is very wanting, but well, this is what we have here. So maybe we could try and fix this first, or we shouldn't fix what's not broken. But I think this is an easy one because we are displaying grid. Is it grid? Then we have this one spanning to one column, this one spanning to two columns, and we are spanning across like several columns. So maybe we could just split this into two, or call span this to around 10, so that we can have something that looks nice on the page. All right, so let me see if we can be able to achieve that. Okay, so resources, why is it? Views, oh, it should be in the layouts, app.blade.php. It's not here. Dashboard.blade.php. Huh, the Tailwind LSP added something cool here. It shows you the color, right? So does this mean if I do, what do you call, if I do red, it will turn to red? Let me just test this out. LSPs are cool. Yeah, it does. It does. Anyway, let us go back to blue. All right, so as you can see here, we're doing grid, then you're doing grid, we're splitting it to 12. Then the first one is called span 2. So I think automatically the next part of this will be called span 1, where we're yielding the content. Where does this div end? Right here, right? So main will be called span 1 by default. So we could either try to have this to be 2, or to be, I don't know, let me just do, I mean, we could either try to make the entire grid system to just contain 2 parts, but that will be hard to style, or I could just make this call span 10, call for it to span 10 spaces. All right, then this should do our trick. Yeah, it did the trick. So we have some two articles over here. The first one is Hello World. It has a nice line. Then, yeah, that's it. Okay, so that looks good. So I think what was left to do was to come. Was it? Yeah, I'm still trying to come back to this. Yeah. So was it in the dashboard articles index of loaded PHP? So remove these lines. They don't serve any purpose right now. Oh my God, I'm sharing the wrong thing. So I'm removing those HRs because they're not doing any good. So we have this. So this is just a place in the dashboard where we can view our articles. Um, all right. So that's it. I think we're done. So maybe we can just make it rounded so that so that it can feel modern. It's the low. You just do rounded large, and your thing feels modern. See, it feels cool. All right. So maybe we could differentiate this a little more. So here, instead of just doing this, we can tell the person doing this. So ideally, in the article body, we should truncate this because you're not previewing the entire thing here. But I don't want to go into that right now. I just want to complete the CRUD and get done with it. So here, I'm planning to do title. Then here, I'm doing, this is gonna be the flag. Then it's gonna be the body. All right, and I'm sure you're gonna face a problem here shortly. Like, okay, so far so good. But now what happens when someone actually adds a real body, like a long one? All right. So let me just add one more thing here. Keep on pressing the wrong short key. All right. So I keep on doing the wrong. Okay. So here I could let me just yank this, then put it here. Then let me say this is our, maybe let's just say the article ID in the database. I don't know, this might be important. So let us do ID over here and let us see what's happening. Article ID, title, hello world, and body. Now, if we go to create, then we say this is a long article. Then we go to the body, then we go to lorem ipsum generator. Yeah, before Cloud and the other clunkers, this is what we used to do for dummy data, or we could use the library called Feka. I think every language has one. Like PHP Feka. The maintainer got tired, and the Laravel team decided to take care of this. So the original creator got tired of maintaining it. Yeah, the original one was called, I think, Frasnoto Feka. I don't know, some PHP history here. Fras Noto Feka. I don't know if I remember the correct name. I Yeah, this guy. Frazi Noto. Frazi. Yeah, it's just another sad open source story. This one. Yeah, so this was the original Feka PHP. You can see it is a public archive right now. But luckily, because it was very useful, the PHP community was able to just continue maintaining it. And now it is called PHP Feka. So I think he left a message somewhere here. Yeah, over here. So just another sad, just another sad open source story. So this guy was maintaining it for years. Then I think he got fed up. Then this is why he went like, I'm sunsetting Frozino to Feka, a popular PHP library for generating fake data. Let me explain why and what might happen to PHP developers using it. I started developing Feka in October 2011. How old were you people in 2011? Were you even born? Because I needed to populate database with fake data of my own project. It was very surprised at how many people used it and excited. Anyway, yeah, this is how Feka works. Feka has a design problem because it embarks on data for 70% languages. Yeah, I think, yeah, on your own time, maybe you could just go read how he was talking about how Feka is a curse. Yeah, there are a lot of issues. So it just got too much. But luckily, I think mostly the Laravel team was able to fork it and continue developing it, so it was alive. So this is a close one because we'd lose Feka. And funny enough, the JavaScript Feka also faced the same issue where this guy called Marak Esquire something. So Marak at some point, yeah, I think the clunker summarized it well over here. So Marak Squires, not Esquire. Sorry for butchering your name in case Marak will watch this. I'm sorry. Yeah, so yeah, it was in just 2022. Everybody woke up to these two libraries failing. Then yeah, I think he got fed up. Big tech is using your code. Then you're still struggling financially and stuff. It happens. So he did it. Yeah. So Fekas in both languages face some issues, which is a fun. Which is yeah. It is. Yeah, I know when people maybe go to boot camp or maybe they're on tech Twitter, people are telling people contribute to open source and stuff, and they don't actually know what this means for these people. They don't know what it means if your library gets there on top, and now people get what do we call this? People get so entitled to your work. Now they're demanding you to fix things, you know? So anyway, before the digression, I was talking about how this is what we used sometimes to generate fake data. For example, now we need some fake data for our article. So I'm just gonna copy something long over here. I don't know why it's columned like that. I don't know. Let me just copy up to this point because I wanna show something. Then go to our article and then paste this. You can already guess where this is going when we go to the articles page. All right. So as expected. So you can see now they're not looking the same. And I'm not a front-end developer. I can't create the beautiful UIs and stuff. But one thing I know for sure, you should never, ever, we should never, ever, you should never, ever, ever allow your layout to shift at any given moment. And also, they should just look the same size. Okay, here there was no layout shift, but definitely you shouldn't allow this even if you're bad, just make sure they're the same size. So so some random guy contribute to open source means little in practice because a lot of the times peers aren't considered. Yes, yeah, now this okay, I'm sorry to say this, but this is now what I'd consider entitlement. You feel entitled that your PR should be merged because someone told you you're supposed to contribute to open source. And there's let me read some manifesto over here. Open source is not about you. Open source, as much as it is open source is someone else's work. You know, so someone drives the direction, someone drives the vision. So you might come here with ideas, and that is why open source allows you to fork. So if you feel like the project is not going in the direction that you want, you don't go bully the maintainers to add the things you want. What you do, you fork it and add them. Like for example, let me give an obvious example. The Casa team. The Casa, sh- sh- if you are a person in Casa and you feel like VS Code is lagging behind, just fork it, add the features you want, and continue maintaining it. You know. So this is I'll read maybe like two paragraphs. The only people entitled to say how open source ought to work are people who run projects. All right. And the scope of the entitlement extends only to their own projects. Just because someone open sources something does not imply they owe the world a change of their status, focus, and effort, e.g., from investor to community manager. As a user of something open source, you are hereby not entitled to anything at all. You are not entitled to contribute. You are not entitled to features. You are not entitled to attention of others. You are not entitled to having value attached to your complaints. You are not entitled to this explanation. And I want when maybe you're mentoring someone or you're teaching a class, do not go around telling them that you have to contribute to open source and the people you're contributing to have to say your PRs and match them. I might have an open source project, and if I do not have, for example, contributing.md, let me go like for example, uh, let me look like this. So not everyone. It is always a good idea to go and look at contributing.md to check if yeah maybe this person will allow your contributions. And yeah, some people have done some pull requests here that I've rejected. Uh, and because at the end of the day, this is my project, and if you feel like it is going in the wrong direction, just fork it, fork it and take it in the direction that you feel. But for me here, I have a vision, and the vision is I've tried to outline it here. There's the code of conduct, getting started, development practices and stuff. And if you add a feature that I feel like goes against what I want to do, I'll just reject it. Like someone was requesting a feature about adding, I think I eventually added it, but at the time I didn't feel like it was taking the project in the right direction. Yeah, so when you go to contribute to open source and someone refuses to merge it, that's fine. It is their work. You're not entitled to anything. They're not doing it for you, they're doing it for themselves. And every open source project starts as someone wanting to scratch their own itch. Yeah, so yeah, be nice to the maintainers. Do not feel like project A doesn't merge, they're evil. No, 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 no. No, no, no. That's not how it works. Anyway, back to our article page. So here, the reason why I put this long dummy text is because I wanted to show what do we call this? A Laravel feature for strings and stuff. So Laravel has helped us, and here, let's say you want to truncate the body to be, let's say, like one line. I think I'm just gonna need to double check it again to see if I got Laravel string help us. Yeah, so here thing 13. Let me just search it. I can't find it. All right, it's not there. Oh yeah, now it is called limit. So these are a bunch of helpers that are built into the language because PHP lacks most of them. So this was an excuse for me to get to use this. So where string limit method truncates a given string to a given length so that you can have something structured. And another thing now with Blade, I don't know if I remember it correctly, in Blade.php, you can do stuff like, I think the facade will automatically be loaded, right? Let me see how they're doing it here. Use Illuminated supports str. Yeah, it will be fun to experiment. So let us do str If it doesn't, we'll call the entire facade. So let's say we want to limit this to like, let's say 15 characters. It will probably fail because maybe it might not be able to. Yeah, it did. So it did some magic. So the point of this was to show like two distinct Laravel features and some of these behaviors. Like if you see here in the documentation, if this was a normal controller or non-view code base, I'd have to import the entire str uh, class, or they call them facades, which facades are just fronts for classes. But now because I'm using it in Blade, Blade will automatically do the magic for me. I hate magic in code bases, but here I appreciate it because I think the controller looks so, the view looks so good. So I think 15 is too little. So let us do like 30 characters so that we can have something predictable. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, definitely. CSS is a good way to do this, but I want you to picture this. This section of the code base, of course, it will miss a lot of context, and I'll give the next reason why. The point of this part of the article, of the page, is not to read the entire article. Ideally, I'm supposed to add a button here where this person can be able to now go to the page of the article. This section of the dashboard is for you to just to preview small things. Yeah, and of course, now this works because our article body is just strings, but now imagine what happens when it is HTML or Markdown. A lot will be lost. So in such cases, yeah, like you said, random guy, yeah, you might just have to to be brave with CSS, in which I'm not brave enough. So here, ideally, I should add a link to now view the article in a specific page. But here it's not just a preview. Some people here would do like a table. Some people would do something close to that. But for us, we're just gonna add a body, a button to now go read the actual article. This is just a place to, it is CRUD. So there's create, read, then I think update or put, then I think delete. Then there's the part for view. I don't know how we call it. It's still under read. So that is what we need to also have here. So here I can HR mentioned. Then what do we call here? So let us do button type button. Sometimes it sounds redundant to do this. It should be a link. Why am I calling it a button? It should just be a link. I'm not going to be CSS heavy here. All right, now here I'm going to rely heavily on Blade stuff, which I don't remember correctly. So I think we used to do, I could call route. Yeah, there was this argument of whether you pronounce it as root or route. Both are correct. You just do what you feel like your mind is good with it. So what is our route name? Articles. Hey, articles dot show, right? Is it? No, we have to go to a magic board to see. So we're just gonna come here, then PHP artisan. I don't think I'm back yet. I'm still struggling. No, artisan space. So we're just taking the route name. I don't know if there's a better way to do this. If there is, please tell me. So because you see you have so many unnecessary routes here, but I'm only interested in there's store, there's create, there's show, update. I think it is show, and then you're gonna give it the ID. I think we're correct. Now articles are show, then the ID would be our, I would say the loop article ID, hopefully. Oh no, it should be slug. We're doing slug. Slug for the identifier, and it's gonna fail, but it will also force us to do something very interesting. So I hope it doesn't fail. No, the route is not found. I added it. But I did. I did add it. So how am I supposed to do it? Yes, see we do dot show, then oh, we passed a parameter ID instead of article. So this should be article over here in, this should fix it. And let us now add some text to our link. Something like that. Now sometimes Tailwind is cool, but sometimes now it does stuff like this. Now you have to style it for it to look like a link. You know. All right, so it has taken us to articles hello world. So I wanted to notice something. So if you go to articles to hello world, we're getting a 404 not found. Yet we have this article, but if we do articles.1, we find something. The view is blank, but it's not 404. So what's happening? So by default, in Laravel, by default, let me just go to models, app, HTTP, models, articles. So by default, the route binding for models is the primary key, the ID. But now here ours you're using the slug. So we need to modify this to use the slug. Now I only remember this vaguely. I don't remember the exact thing we used to do. So I'm just gonna look it up. So I'm just gonna type Laravel model route binding. I think some very searched. And we're just gonna go here. So the same thing I was saying, by default, it uses the ID column to match the parameters. If no matching is found, then explicit binding. So provides full control over how parameters map to model. So this is the global one. I don't want that. All right, so I think inside the model, I can just call get route key name. Then I return the column name that I want to be used. All right, so let us try to do that. I wonder why they've not added it to our beautiful decorators here yet, or maybe they have. So we're extending public function get model. Is it that? What am I typing? Key binding. I'm not sure that's the correct thing. Let me just check again. It doesn't hurt. Get route key name. Why did I get this? Maybe I need some coffee. Get route key name. Okay. What is happening? What's happening? All right, so we're just gonna, here, we just return a string. Then we tell it, dude, when someone tries to bind this to a route, please use the slug to check for existence. Then, of course, some code quality here. So should we add this one? It returns a string. Oh, guys, I always forget this. I always forget. I'll have to write some macros to do this. Yeah, so what I was doing, I was adding this to tell Laravel that in this model, when someone binds it to a route, like we've done here in index.blade.php, use, when you want to trying to find the model here, please use the slug to be able to find our model, not the ID. Then if you go back here, so article ID must not be accessed before initialization. What does that even mean? Have we accessed it without initialization? What's happening here? Property, the type property app models ID. So does this mean ID is missing because we are not using ID anymore? All right, some weird bug. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna, let me see if it supports commenting. It doesn't. I do not have commenting for this file type. So I'm just gonna delete it. Then see. Now also the title must not be accessed before initialization. What does that even mean? This is a strange error. Okay, so the error is we're just gonna go type property must not be accessed before initialization. We now can copy as markdown and type it, paste it in the clunker, but we're not doing that here. We're just having fun. So this was 6 years ago. Someone faced this 6 years ago. Where was I? Is it because I did this? I don't get it, man. Anybody knows what the issue here is? I don't know. And it has happened. Let me just check something. HTTP controllers. It is not my fault. This is the index page. But it has already been serialized. We can even do something like latest. Over here. Okay, I honestly don't know what's happening here anymore. Attempt to read ID on an array. Uh, I'm not sure what's happening. So I'm just gonna do this. Let us go to let us go to our page over here. No, we need to do this. So let us go to our page. Then here, I'm gonna do DD, not that one. I'm gonna DD articles to see what's inside it. Was it called DD? I'm not sure. So articles. So I think we are returning a query builder. Yeah, so our articles are actually a query builder now that we've changed some things. What could have gone wrong? So we're supposed to, would this work? All, let me see if this would work. To array. That worked. So we need to now serialize on our own. Okay, so I think that's a bug, right? It's not our fault. Okay, it kind of works now, but I think that's a bug. So this is what happened. Maybe I'll try and maybe I don't know. I'm not even interested in reproducing. Okay, so here's my story with Laravel. So I was facing an issue with Sanctum. Sanctum is the official way of authenticating APIs without complicating things. Laravel Sanctum. Yeah, it has a cool name. Okay, I kind of felt bad, but it is not my project. So Laravel Sanctum provides a featherweight authentication system for single-page applications, mobile application, and simple token-based APIs. Sanctum allows each user of the application to generate multiple API tokens and accounts. So even now with our model, we can still use Sanctum just in case maybe someone wants to use it on a mobile app or a third-party SPA to be able to authenticate. Yeah. So Sanctum works okay, but now I was facing an issue where Laravel supports multiple guards. So there was an issue when trying to get the user for multiple guards. You had to do some gymnastics to manually load that user. You couldn't use the magic methods provided. So I went and raised an issue, and the issue was closed within 30 minutes. And I think they said I don't, it was the other guy, Dres Vince. So he told me something the lines of, I think that is not an issue, Laravel. Okay, that is a non-issue or something. So I think it was in 2024, and I think they were mainly aiming for having as few open issues as possible. So it just went that way. Yeah, so that is how I remember Sanctum. Yeah, not some good memories. But yeah, I did my own fixes to be able to achieve that. But yeah, and I think, and that is when I just started drifting away from this entire ecosystem. Yeah. So our thing is fixed. I love how they're doing the timestamps. So I think after changing, I think now this is a bug because what we did, we changed the identifier in the route for the model from the database ID to slug, and it now doesn't serialize automatically for us. So this method called to array, I don't know if it will give us the signature. This will serialize for us. It will remove whatever is supposed to be removed. But previously, it was automatically serializing for us. So why? Why would that happen? And I'm sure if I open this issue, yeah, they'll just close it within minutes. So let us go back to our articles, index.blade.php. All right, so let me remove this DD over here. Then let me just do, now it's returning an array. Now I need to, I'm not, it is not returning objects. Now we have another issue. Fix one. I don't know if you guys can see how, like, I did nothing wrong. Now this is an associative array, not an object anymore, because I just changed how the model is resolved. Now I'm being punished for it. Now I gotta do this now. It is not my fault. And this is why, what do we call this? The Unix philosophy is very good and resonates with me, because if you do a million things, you're bound to mess up. There are a lot of missing parts, there are a lot of moving parts, and whenever you have more than one moving part, you're doing like a million things, you're gonna mess up. So this should be slug. Okay, before I yap, let me just confirm it works. Yeah, it works. See? Now imagine you're a newbie. You don't even know what happened. Yeah, like I think after some time you just read errors and you understand after being around for long. But now imagine you're a newbie. You did everything right. You followed like some online tutorial, it worked. Then after doing some modification, your particular code breaks. Maybe the other guy is using Laravel 8 and things like this. Oh yeah. So I was talking about this. Ah, no, no, not that. The Unix philosophy. I know it can't apply to web apps mostly, but mostly it is a cultural norm and design principles for software development that emphasizes on simplicity and minimalism and modularity. It advocates for creating small specialized tools. And this is not microservices, by the way. This is something else. So creating small tools and combining pipelines to handle uh, what do you call this? Tasks. Primarily treating text streams as universal interface. Yeah, so mainly it it applies to core utils, but I also try and fit it in major software. So some people would call their thing clean code and stuff, written by this guy, where the AOP people have their own Bible and philosophy. I think this is an extremist view on how to do software. No offense. Yeah, guys, just write code. You're doing too much. So why you have to have composable, I don't know, inversion of control? No, 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 no. Yeah, not that extremely. So here, and if I may give an example, I don't know if we go to our terminal. Here, where is our terminal? It's over here. So if we go to our terminal here, then let me just copy something here. I'm just getting the JSON placeholder link. Uh, then let us get posts. I think we should have just used their posts. So if I do something like if I wanna get stuff from the internet, of course I'll call Carl. Then I will do call the posts endpoint. Then if I press enter, I'll get this. Now what happens when I want maybe pretty JSON? So in Unix philosophy, instead of adding that functionality inside curl, you allow curl to be able to pipe output. Now, there are two ways you can output things in the terminal. I think I should do a stream about terminals, but now here's an overview. So there's number one, you can output to std out like I've done, or you can std in and stream it to the next program. So when you add this character here, the one that stands, this now tells Carl that you're not running in user mode, you're running in terminal mode, right? I don't know, is it terminal mode or user mode? Let me just confirm. User mode versus terminal mode. User mode is a restricted operating set application on browser editors prevent directly accessing hardware. No, 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 no. Yeah, so there's the user exec mode, default entry mode, first access device intended for monitoring basic status checks. No, 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 no. Device, read only, minimal. How to exit. Where's who typed Cisco here? Yeah, I look up the correct one. It was in some other guide. But when you're doing CLIs, all CLIs know have a way of knowing. So when I pipe this, they'll have a way of checking if this a user is expecting STD out, or should I output this into another into and pipe it into another program. So stream it to STD in so that it can be copied. So here, when I type this, Carl will not output to the terminal. Carl will pipe it to the next program. Carl does not know the existence of the next program. I think the stream about CLS will be very interesting. Now, when I press this, I get something green. You can see Carl showed some downloading, and this happened. So JQ did not ask me for input. So if I just type JQ, it will ask me for input. But here it did not, because it also sensed it was not in user mode, it was in terminal mode. So it was expecting input from what we call this std in. And that is the same way the Twitter CLI works. Like for example, if I do Twitter, what do we call this, Twitch, you can see it will tell me, okay, so it will just send it. I need to fix this to check at least one should exist. If I do Twitter tweet, it will expect input from the other side. But if I do something like echo, happy Tuesday, then I pipe it into Twitter. Uh, the, the CLI is able to read this input from std in. It will not expect it from the other side. Then if I press enter, this should be sent. So this has been sent to the other account, not the main Stanley Masinde underscore. So you can see there are two ways you can get input. So that is now what Unix philosophy is. So instead of me going ahead and writing a function to read files or reading output from other places, I think I got offline for a moment there. Sorry guys, I think I went offline for a moment. I don't know how long ago I went offline. But yeah, I was just talking about the Unix philosophy and also how I've applied it personally. And I think it's a good way. If there's a util that does something you want, don't build that. Only focus on what your thing does. And it ends there. Use what exists in your environment. Pipe it, sort. And that's why you'll see when people are doing log, you'll find them using AWK, then I don't know, sort some magic combination, and that is how Unix is supposed to work. So that is the Unix philosophy. So what brought me to that is that I feel like Laravel is doing too much, and more recently they're trying to be more composable. They're breaking things apart, but I think it is just a disease. Should I call it a disease or a culture in web dev where you cramp everything in one space, and that complicates things in my opinion. I don't like doing things that way, and I like things modular. I like small things, manageable thing, clear boundaries, which to some extent, of course, giving credit to Laravel, this pattern provides. You know what views does, and stuff like that. So anyway, enough yapping. So we are done. We have our link to take us to view the article. Now we just need to come here in the show.blade.php. Now we know that the ID is not telling us the variables you have access to, but we know here we do have access. I need to modify pairs so that I can be able to automatically do this. So here we know article exists. Oh, this will fail. So let us dd. Here we know article exists because we own the code base. Article, not articles. So if we go back, those are so many tabs. Do you guys see how tabs compound so easily? What's happening? We're done for today. Articles. Are we in the right page? Oh yeah, we need to also do something about the, really, do we need to do something about the controller? We should have done this. So we have create. Oh yeah, we're not returning this. So this was blank, so return. We have our article, view, articles. Yeah, it predicted. Why am I smiling? Articles, dot show. I'm gonna close this here. Then we're gonna do the second parameter should be just data. Remember that the two ways of doing data according to modern Laravel and now. So we're just gonna pass article here. I hope this would work. Then close this. All right. So why do we have an issue here? Oh, because here it's saying void. Then PHP stand adding, add. So, okay. Why is it a fatal error? It's no longer a void method, guys. Oh, I've not saved it. Yeah, PHP now is trying to lap as a strict language. So here we're returning view correctly. Oh, PHP, look at PHP being strict. Oh yeah. Another error we faced. We are supposed to return an associative array here. Then we name it anything we want to name it. Article. All right. So here we're supposed to return an ASOC. ASOC sounds dirty, right? Why is it not serializing? What's happening? Why is it not automatically serializing my thing? I'm just crazy, but I'm just gonna go with the flow. And this is scary because yeah, I think Safaricom is doing a thing with my internet. Yeah, PHP is fun in Vim. Like I don't know, it's okay. Okay, so we've realized that our thing is not serializing, so we need to call to JSON, to array, or to JSON, or to whatever, so that we can get our associative array over here. All right, now this is more like it. So it shows us the page. We're done for today, and we'll be good to go. Yeah. So this is just a nice debugger for Laravel. Uh, it's called DD. Okay. So we have our show section here now. I hate the markup side of things. So here we're just gonna do. We know article exists. Ideally, you're supposed to check if it exists. But here it's a trust me bro situation. So we're just gonna do article, the title, then here we're gonna do, should we put it in a main or in a div? In a div, I don't know, which is better. So here we're just inputting the body, nothing much. So article, something's off. I can't put a finger on it, but something is off. I can feel something's gonna break. Something is off. Here we can just do article ID, but dynamic titles for the week. Yeah, so we have something. Oh yeah, don't mind. So we are not focused on making the thing beautiful. Maybe we can try having a better navigation. But what we have so far, we are listing our articles. Then we can be able to view the article. It is fetching by the slug. So this is the title. So maybe you can just tell Tailwind to style up. Tailwind, this is a title. Please make it a title, Tailwind. Class. Is it font? Or is it text? Let me just do 5XL. Now, okay, so now the thing I hate about Tailwind is now this will break the hierarchy. Then class. So because now the H1 will have a reset style, now you'll have to come up with your own style. So what should you do for the body? I think it should remain the same. Let me just do empty like 2. That's it. We're done. We're done, we're done, we're done. We're done, we're done, we're done. So we can list, we can view a specific article, go, you know, yeah. So let us add another link here to maybe edit it. Yeah, I'm not doing another Laravel stream. This is enough. We need to move on into more exciting things. I've had enough PHP for a month. I've had enough PHP. I think overall, I think it was fun. Just I just don't. I don't resonate with this way of building software anymore. It is. Is it productive? Yeah, yeah. Because you can imagine having to design all those database facades, how the views are presented. I think it is okay. Yeah. So we could do the same way for updating. Just here do the edit.build.php and just go with it. I don't feel like doing that. I'm already bored with Laravel. I'm so bored. So maybe I could talk about some things on how if you choose Laravel, I don't discourage you. Laravel is good and Laravel has opportunities. So if you're just exploring to see maybe if yeah, Laravel is a good tool to have in your toolchain. A lot of stuff has been built with Laravel over the years. Yeah, it's a good skill to have, and it's not hard to learn, like I mentioned. So maybe this is the point where I'll have this code on GitHub, and I'll share it. Yeah, so for those who want to continue playing around with what I was doing, maybe if you feel like you can style better, which I agree with you, you can style things better than me. I am not good at this. That's cool. Chonjo, chonjo. Okay. Now, I maybe would want to take this chance because it's already 11 in East Africa to talk about maybe how to do production Laravel. So Laravel for the longest time. Okay, PHP. So the biggest issue with PHP is I don't know if maybe I can draw. Maybe I hope you can visualize. So when you run PHP now, if you check here on my server in production, I wouldn't be running PHP artisan serve over here. In production, this is what will be happening. In production, a request will be redirected to the public folder. Then the server would execute index.php. Then index.php would boot the Laravel application for you for that particular request. Then it will bootstrap everything. Then after bootstrapping everything in memory, then that is when it will be able to handle the request. So you can see that. So every time there's a new request, the application boots up again and again and again and again. So Laravel has some mitigation for this, like you can cache things and stuff. And this is not a Laravel problem, it's a PHP problem on how just PHP runs. So you have a request, it comes, the server redirects it here, then this particular code takes care of now booting the entire application. So after here, it might come to bootstrap, where it will load everything up for a request to be handled. So for every request, you can see there's an overhead, and that is an issue for performance. So, and it has been a problem with PHP. So I don't know if I remember correctly what we called the technology that was new. Let me just Google it. Run PHP in memory. It has been a while. So there is. Okay, let me just go straight to how Laravel does it. I'll maybe remember. So if you deploy Laravel today, I typed my own thing. It's Laravel Octane. So Laravel Octane, what Laravel Octane does, it allows you to boot your application. Yeah, so there's Franken PHP, and I don't know if I remember the other one, Laravel. Let me just check here. Laravel Octane, Laravel, this Roadrunner. Yeah, so PHP Soul. Before you get there, so it's PHP Soul. It's called Open Soul or something. And even if you don't want to use Laravel and you're using PHP, you can try this to supercharge your existing PHP. No, what am I doing? Oh, oh yeah, I'm in the right place. No. All right. So Soul is a parallel network communication engine based on a synchronous event-driven coroutine. So if you know how Node.js runs, so Node.js runs in asynchronous I/O. So Node.js will only boot up once. Then all requests will be async I/O. So when a request comes in, so application will only boot once, and the next request will run similar to how Node.js runs. So I don't know if they've explained it here. It is in a foreign language, man. So it is similar to exactly to how Node.js runs. So this gives you an advantage of only booting once, and now it can handle a lot of asynchronous operations. So if you had what people praise Go for, it is this thing we call Go routines. So it will give you something like Lightwell threads and stuff. So if you're gonna deploy Laravel in production or PHP in production, make sure you're using Swell. It's gonna use a little bit more memory, but it's gonna be performant and it's gonna handle even more requests per second. So you can even see now PHP being able to do stuff like running WebSocket server. This wasn't possible previously, and so yeah, this is the core technology. Now it is not the only existing one. So we have like Franken PHP written in Go and stuff. So if you check here, it supercharges your application performed by serving application using high-powered application servers, including FrankenPHP, OpenSwall, Soul, and Roadrunner. I think OpenSwall is the thing I was looking for, not Swall. supporting the next generation microservices application. So this is a very good advantages, and you can see it runs compared to other frameworks of software like Node.js and stuff. So this is the first thing I do to make sure you run it in production correctly. And Sol, of course, is a C extension. You install it with OpenSol. You can install it with Composer, and this is how Hello World looks in that. As you can see, it's just a normal PHP. It feels more like Express. You can have your own event listeners. So on start, so for those people who said I'm using Node.js because it runs in memory and it's a sync IO, just tell them, guys, have you seen OpenSol by PHP? So if you're a PHP diehard and you also want a sync IO, this is your thing. WebSocket server, and it is amazing. It is awesome, and it is sad that this came late when I was already done with the PHP side of things. But I definitely want to do maybe a dive on this and see how it compares to the things I'm used to. But that's the thing I'd advise you to. And this is a wrap up for everything to do with Laravel until further notice. So tomorrow we're going to do another topic. I was thinking of doing mobile web. Yeah, so let us see how that goes. So guys, anyway, thanks for watching. It has been beautiful. Have a beautiful Tuesday. See you tomorrow at 10 a.m. East African time. Goodbye. All right. Bye bye.